Hi everyone, so today we're just going to address the question, how does chloride help maintain acid-base balance in the body? So just for today, make sure to draw along with me, make sure that later you can draw it yourself, explain it to somebody, and that's how you'll really remember this content. Okay, so when you think of an acid and a base and you think of acid-base balance, say that your acid level is really high, right? Really high. You need a way to bring that down. What are you gonna need? Think back to Gen Chem 2. You need a buffer. So one's a buffer. But say now that your base is really high, you know that acid base balance is off. What are you gonna need? Your base is really high. You're gonna need acid. All right. So why I'm mentioning this? Well, chloride actually helps you do this when you digest it. When you digest chloride, you release both these things, a buffer and an acid, out into your gut lumen, and that actually helps you maintain the pH balance, acid-base balance in your gut lumen. So we're going to go over real quick how it's digested. Okay, so you mainly eat chloride through salt. Salt being Na plus is sodium, and Cl being that chloride. So you eat it, it goes into your mouth, then your esophagus, into your stomach, and your small intestine. Remember that your GI tract is like a tube. And this tube has cells along the top and bottom. And these cells have these ridges. And the ridges help you increase surface area and help you digest things better. So these cells are the ones that you have chloride's going to go into these cells and be absorbed. Now, for chloride to go in, you need transporters. So this is just that cell blown up real big. All right. Okay. So if you're bringing something into the cell, right, you have to exchange something for it with an equal charge. So if we're bringing chloride into the cell, chloride has a -1 charge, bring it to the cell, we have to take something out of the cell that also has a -1 charge. What are we going to take out? Bicarbonate, HCO3-. Does that sound familiar? Yep, bicarbonate is a buffer. Oh look, that's the first way that chloride helps. It excretes a buffer when you put chloride into the cell. So one in, one out, like that. Now, how do you make the acid? How does chloride help make that acid? Well, when you make bicarbonate, you need oxygen and water. That makes bicarbonate. But that also makes a proton. So now you release bicarbonate and a proton. Again, if you excrete a proton out of the cell, you need to bring in something with an equal charge. So what are you going to bring in that has that one positive charge? Sodium. Look, the sodium right here. Okay, so remember how we said that these cells lining your gut have ridges and valleys. This ridge is called a villi, and that's what helps increase that surface area, right? And this villi is where these transporters right here that we've been talking about, these transporters are. But in this valley called a crypt, you have another transporter that is going to excrete chloride out. So it's going to excrete chloride back out here. So that means that now we have bicarbonate, hydrogen, and a chloride. Now, if you have hydrogen and a chloride, what are they going to do? Come together. That makes hydrogen chloride. And if you think back to Gen Chem 2, what is hydrogen chloride? A super strong acid. So now, through the absorption, right, through eating chloride, you release the buffer and you've also released an acid. So this is how chloride really helps regulate that acid base balance, because it gives you a buffer when you ingest it, and it also gives you the components to make an acid when you digest it. So go ahead and review this, explain to somebody else, and I really hope this helps.